Hey guys, so it's been a while since I posted here on YouTube. My spring has been a little strange. First, I had a second-degree burn on my arm from here to here. That took a while to heal. And then Michael and I went away on a long road trip to Florida. So that took a while. And when I came back, I managed to slip and fall and tear some ligaments in my ankle. So this spring has been sort of a set of injuries and recoveries. Thankfully, I'm feeling so much better. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. And today I will start with a spring tour because the garden looks so beautiful. The tulips are blooming, the daffodils are still blooming. So I will probably separate this video in two parts, the front yard and the backyard. So here's what the front bed looks like right now. Some of the daffodils past their prime, some of them are in their peak, but I just wanted to show you the overview and all the different groupings of different varieties of daffodils. What I did last fall, actually the fall before last fall, right there I just planted all the same varieties, like a river of daffodils. But last fall, I decided to do more of the groupings of the same varieties. And I think I like it better, and I definitely will continue working on that this fall. Also, I love how this royal purple smoke bush foliage looks with the white of the daffodils. That contrast, so beautiful. And let me just step out here. I wanted to show you the boxwoods and evergreen interest in this bed. And it's kind of these three boxes kind of having a dialogue with that boxwood right there. Just like that connection. And so what I'm going to do next is just zoom in and show you all the individual varieties of daffodils I have here this spring. I will start with these delicate daffodils right here. These are called Sweet Love, and they are multiple on a stem. They're a smaller daffodil, but not a miniature daffodil, and I just love the middle yellow color with kind of a white fringe. These right here are called Cool Flame, and at first I thought they looked exactly like Pink Charm, but as I looked closer, their middle is definitely much darker and much richer color than Pink Charm. I will show you Pink Charm next so you can compare it yourself. These right here are Pink Charm, and they definitely have a lighter middle. And I love how they look with this Weigela right here, with the dark foliage of the Weigela, and the colors kind of pick up from each other. This daffodil is new to me this year. This is Ice King, and they look almost like a carnation to me. It's just this beautiful double middle. I'm not sure what happened to this one. Something was either chewing on it or maybe somebody stepped on it. But it's just such a beautiful daffodil. Doesn't even look like one. These daffodils right here are quite common. These are called Ice Follies. And they do have this wider middle. When they open, they're more of a deeper yellow color, and as they fade, they turn into this more pale yellow and eventually almost white. So you kind of get three daffodils in one. Now these are Mount Hood daffodils, and they have one of the longest cups. And they do open this pale yellow and then fade to completely white middle. These are pink champagne daffodils, and whenever I show these to people or I put them in bouquets, people automatically think of them more as a peony than a daffodil. They are just so beautiful, double petaled, with a little bit of apricot-y petals in the middle. Just an amazing daffodil to have in your garden. These daffodils right here I am in love with. These are called Apricot Whirl, and they are sort of on their way out, but they're still so beautiful with their peachy middle. And these are butterfly type daffodils. They were new to me this year. I've never tried them before. I'm definitely planting more in my garden. I did have some more of the yellow varieties. They're called Casada. I will put it on the screen for you to see. They're unfortunately past their prime, but I'm still enjoying these beauties right here. These little daffodils, I wasn't sure if I would like because of their bright yellow color, but they actually look more citron to me. And they're just adorable. They're called Pipit. And they have different shades of yellow and white in them. And I actually planted them next to this Sambucus Sunrise Surprise to sort of talk to the yellow in that plant. I think it's an adorable little daffodil, especially planted right next to this Thalia daffodil, which is my all-time favorite daffodil. I've been growing this for years. This daffodil will look great in any garden, with any plants, ephemerals. It is multiple on one stem, and they are pure white. They're sort of open, little faded yellow color, but then fade to completely white color. And I just can't get enough of these. I just wanted to show you this combination of Thalia daffodils with this variegated iris. I think it's just so beautiful, and the yellow variegation in the iris also speaks to the Pipit daffodil in the back right there. I also have some mislabeled daffodils. So these, for example, when they opened, I thought they were Sweet Love. They're very similar, but the middle is definitely more yellow. So if you know the variety of this beautiful daffodil here, definitely let me know. These here are White Lion daffodils, and they are definitely on their way out. In fact, all of the ones that you see back there were White Lion, and they were beautiful, but unfortunately they're past their prime. I also wanted to show you this grouping of Thalia daffodils together with hosta foliage that is just starting to come out from the ground. I think it's just such a beautiful combination. And also there is caramel euchera back there and over here. And I think caramel eucheras are just such great plants, very reliable, one of the healthiest eucheras out there. And I also planted some Mertensia virginica, or Virginia bluebells, here to bloom together with Thalia daffodils. I think it will be such a beautiful combination. But this whole space will be filled with hosta foliage in a couple of weeks. And I get that question asked a lot: what do I do with daffodil foliage? You're not supposed to cut it for about 6 weeks. So it gets its energy from the sun and produces beautiful flowers for you next following year. And I know it looks very drabby and not very attractive while they're yellowing, but if you plant them together with perennials like this, or maybe a geranium, they will hide the foliage, and then you don't have to stare at it for 2 months. And here's the overview of the sidewalk border. The tulips are in their peak right now. They're absolutely beautiful. And most of the tulips that I planted last year and the year before that came back, especially the double flag tulips that you see, the purple ones, come back for me reliably. But some of them didn't make it. I lost some of the foxtrots and some of the mondial tulips, which are white tulips. So you just never know. You can try planting different tulips, which are meant to be an annual flower, but I've had really good luck with double tulips, Darwin hybrids, and also lily types. So this combination right here, I just wanted to talk about real quick. Because I lost a lot of the white mondial tulips, I actually had to fill in the gaps with the tulips that I forced in pots, thankfully, in the backyard. So these right here are Exotic Emperor. tulips, and they are so beautiful. I love the green striping on them. So that is something you can do. You can force your tulips in pots and then add them to your beds if you're missing a certain color or certain variety. So actually, let me zoom in to all of the particular varieties and just talk a little bit more about them. Actually, before I do that, I just wanted to show you our beautiful Kwanzaa cherry that blooms around this time. And it's just such an amazing addition to the garden with all the tulips blooming. This tulip variety right here is called Triumphator, and I've had these bulbs here for at least 7 years, and they come back reliably for me. They open with a little yellow tint to them, and then they fade to completely pure white. It is a lily type tulip. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's so unusual. I don't see a lot of lily type tulips planted, and I think people definitely should plant them more because they're so unusual. This tulip right here is called Queen of Night, and it does not come back for me reliably. I have to plant it every fall, but I just love the dark color. It's one of the darkest colors in the tulip, and it looks beautiful with light pinks and whites. These double flag tulips are an absolute winner in my book. They are so beautiful. They don't even look like tulips. They look more like peonies to me. They're double tulip. They're very long lasting in the garden. They also naturalize for me. So for example, I planted, I think 5 bulbs in the clump here 3 years ago. And as you can see just how much this clump has grown, and all of the individual clumps that you see in the garden just multiplied over the years. So unless I dig them up accidentally, they just keep on propagating and blooming. Just such a beautiful tulip, really good cut flower, and sturdy stems in the garden. A lot of double tulips actually don't have the sturdy stems, but double flag does for sure. This is another lily type tulip that I have in my garden. This is called Claudia, and it's just so beautiful with this dark pink color and white fringe. And this one does come back reliably for me in my garden. This beautiful light pink tulip right here is called Foxtrot. It is a double tulip, absolutely beautiful. Kind of reminds me of Angelique, which is an older variety. But the problem I had with Angelique is more of the flopping because the flower is so big. The Foxtrot is very sturdy flower for me. These are exotic emperor tulips, and they are so beautiful. I love the green striping on the side. These bulbs were not the best quality, so they're not as full as they usually are, but still, even with the poor quality bulbs, they're just stunning. This grouping of tulips right here are a few tulips that I actually planted in the border last fall, and these are called Afke. So I forced a lot of Afke actually in the house. I will try to find a photo and show you what they looked like forced. But it is a beautiful tulip, pink with a soft white edge. These tulips right here were mislabeled. They were supposed to be pink impression, but the ones that you see behind them is pink impression. So I don't know what they are, but I love them. I love that soft pink color with a little bit of a purple, and the way the petals just open up. It's just so beautiful. All right, you guys, this is it for the front yard, and I will see you in the next video of the backyard.